Please take over.
Thank you, Mr. Jagannathan, and thank you very much to the top leadership team and the VC sir, the deans and directors and everyone, you and all those who are involved in evaluating this. It is a great honor, a pleasure and a privilege to be connected with the entire team of BIT. So thank you so much, and I welcome everybody today in this session where we will try to cover two aspects. One is how do we download very important tools which are given over here to, as Mr. Jagannathan said, jumpstart the whole process of innovation in startups. And number two, how to use these tools. So I would request everybody to kindly mute themselves. Please mute everybody, their videos and their audios for the purpose of better bandwidth, for the better data transmission. And I would request you to please note down any questions that you have, so that at the end of the presentation we can take up and the flow of the presentation is not affected. So request you to please note down, record the session for the purpose of future reference of all the people also. So
Yes.
once again, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Praveen. Just I would like to add one small note here.
Yeah.
Actually, after the training, they will be giving initial demonstration. I am going to ask few faculty members to share the screen and show this, operate the software by themselves. We all will ask some question, and the faculty is expected to do something. That will be very interesting, interactive training, right? So, and the software link is provided in the conversation chat box. After the training, you can use that to interact with us. Thank you very much, Mr. Praveen. Please take over.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, as you see the World Innovation Network on your screen, there are 10 modules over here. I will explain one by one. Module 1 is about the tools that we have to offer. So what you can do is this InnovatioNext tools for download. So this golden section, the cube which is here, you can please click over here, right? The moment you click here, you will see that there is a complete tools that we have offered to you available over here for the downloads. The first one that we have here is the 3D idea generators. So very simple. You can click on the 3D idea generators, and then you can go through for downloading through the Google Drive, which is the simplest option. You don't have to go and do one by one in that case. So simply go here, which says 3D idea generators download on PCs through the Google Drive. Click here, and there is a Google Drive link given here. You will see the Google Drive link. Click on the section. And once again, if you click it, it takes you to the Google Drive 3D idea generators. And the way you download normally, right click and just download this. So once you download this, it will take 4 or 5 minutes for you to download the entire set of the 3D idea generators that we have there. So that is the first thing that you have to do for downloading the 3D idea generators. Later on,
May I request you to start?
Please repeat, sir? Can you please repeat, sir?
Okay. In the section 1 of the package, which is there on your screen, please go on InnovatioNext tools for download, right? Which is the golden cube here. You click here and you will see there are various tools for downloading in this section. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Now the first one, we will first download the first one, which is 3D idea generators. You click on this, and then the second one, which says download on your computer or your PC through the Google Drive. So click on this, and there will be a link. Again, click on this. That will take you to the Google Drive. And you will see 3D idea generators here. right? Can you see that?
Yes.
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 Now right click on this and this whole menu will open, and there is a download option here, this arrow. Can you see that?
Hi sir, sorry to interrupt. This is Abhishek. I can't see the chat box option in my Teams screen from where I can access this link.
Actually, everybody are there as a guest. So the recording is also there. So you please see the screen as of now, and then we will work out this.
Yes, don't worry about it. You please see the screen. So here is a download link. You can see the download link.
Yeah.
And just download. If you press that, it will start zipping the file, and all the 3D idea generators will be there in your computer within about 5 minutes. So very simple procedure, right? So similarly, for the next section that we have here, you can go back from here, from 3D idea generators, this back arrow, and come on the ready to use mind maps. These are the most important assets that we provide to you. So once you click on the number 2, section here in the tools, you will see the mind maps, ready to use mind maps. Now, what you do is before you download the mind maps, it is very important to download the Xmind software to operate those files. So here is in the third section, this download Xmind software, which is here. Click on this, and there is a download version for the PCs. There is also a version for phone and iPhones and all that. Don't worry for that right now. Simply, first of all, go for the PC version, download the Xmind software for the PCs. Are you all here right now, where I am?
Yes.
Yes. So please click this and again click on this, and it takes you on the Xmind website. And there you will find that there is a free download version of this open source software. Can you see the free download version? Even if one or two people are able to see, they can always guide the others later on. That is not a problem, but see the entire procedure, because this video recording is going to be available to you. We cannot wait for everybody to download because it may take some time. So you please download this free version and install on your PCs, because this software is required to open up our 100 mind mapping templates that we have provided. Please download the free version of the xmind.net on your computers. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Praveen, you please continuously go ahead because we are recording. So they will. Yeah.
No problem. So then, once this procedure is done, then we close this. We go back from this arrow to the mind maps which are there, which is through the Google Drive, because it is very easy to install through the Google Drive, because all the mind maps can get, at one place. So the moment you click this, again, there are, 3 sections over here, where step 1 install Java, step 2 install Xmind. That is not required because you have already downloaded the latest version of the Xmind software. Please remember, step 1, step 2 are not required anymore because you have already downloaded the latest version of the Xmind on your computer in the previous section. The step 3, which is open mind maps, you can right click on this and download this. The step 3 only, because we have all our 100 mind mapping templates over there. once you have clicked on this, it will start zipping. And within, I think, 5 to 10 minutes, all the mind maps will be there on your screen. These are the most important sections, for downloading our tools. Once that is done, once you have all the mind maps on your screen, all I want to tell you is that the next button, which is over here, these mind maps are individual mind maps. So, sometimes when you are not able to access the Google Drive, we have also given a facility where if you click on the startup development mind map, you can download the mind maps one by one. So for example, if I open this and if I press on this download button, it will start getting downloaded in an individual manner. So this may be required when you are, when you only want the individual mind map, but you need not worry about it anymore because the entire section of the mind map is already downloaded on your computer. The third thing that we have over here for downloads are the innovation assessment tools, the third section. So here, if you want to download the corporate innovation framework, which we have provided to you, you can it's very simple. Click on this. There is a download option over here. Click on this and it gets downloaded on your computers. These are very, very simple to download. Similarly, if you want to download the corporate innovation assessment tool, very simple to download, and the guidelines, etc. So these do not have any kind of a problem. Similarly, the fourth section, which is the Premium Pro presentations that we provide, there are two ways of downloading. One is individually, other is through the Google Drive. So if you want to go to the Google Drive and download all the presentations that we have, again, it takes you to the Google Drive, and this Premium Pro presentations, if you click on this, it says download. All the presentations will get downloaded on your system. So this is as far as the installation of various tools, that we have in our kitty, in the resources that we have are given. So I hope you have all understood about the downloading procedures that we have. Now, I will basically come on the yeah. So now I will basically come on the section of the downloaded tools, which are here. So when you have downloaded the 3D idea generators, right? Just one second. Yeah, so you have now downloaded the 3D idea generators, and this is how they will appear in your system. You will find that there are about 12 idea generators which you have downloaded on your computer system. Sometimes in some computer systems, the Windows firewall might try to block an exe file getting downloaded. Don't worry about it. Simply go and say run anyway. So it will not stop, but that is only there in the case of few systems. But invariably, I think you will feel that you are able to see all these files that we have on the 3D idea generators. Now, 3D idea generators, for example, are basically the Rubik's innovation Rubik's that we have, which enables you to generate the ideas. Are you able to see the 3D idea generator on your screen?
Yes.
Yes. So this is basically the innovation Rubik's, and there are 12 kinds of Rubik's that we provide. This is, for example, on a design innovation. There is on processes, on IT, on technologies, on Industry 4. There are many cubes which are there depending on which area you're working. But let us say if you're working on a design innovation today, the good thing about this cube is that you can rotate in any direction and you can shuffle it. So the moment you shuffle it, there are new permutations and combinations of ideas which you see on your screen. So for example, a new idea that you see is how do I simplify the product? Or how do I make it different by combining two different technologies? I can go horizontal, I can go vertical, I can go any way. So maybe you suddenly find an idea of self-driven, which is in the blue color here, right? Or how do you make it efficient with the digital technologies, the two next ideas, right? So these are all the ideas which are there for the students, who to explore, because cognitive flexibility does not happen with the linear thinking. So it is not just about a manual kind of a control that they have. They also have a shuffle option over here. So if they want to shuffle all the ideas automatically, you have to simply click on the shuffle button, which is here. If you shuffle it, it is programmed for a 20 times of automatic shuffling. Can you see the automatic shuffling on your screen? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, some time is running 52. What does that reflect?
Yeah, that is basically in case you want to have a competition of ideation. You want to give them 2 minutes to come up with a new idea in a class, right? So every team can actually have 2 minutes to generate an idea. You got my point?
Okay, okay. Sir.
So the timer is basically for you to know how much time you are taking for your ideation purposes. See, because when we go to the corporates, the time given to us is very limited and we have to keep a track of time also. So is it possible for you to create something, on the idea of the ergonomics or something with the renewable energy, the blue idea that you see over here? Now, these are main ideas which are very important for the purpose of ideation and idea generation, also for gamification, because the students love gamification of the ideas these days. So how do you gamify something, and have fun and generate the ideas? But how to use these cubes? I mean, how can I further use this cube? The main thing about the cube is, the beauty is that all the ideas which are here can be pasted on the mind maps. So if you open the mind mapping template, you open the blank mind mapping template, you can, copy and paste the ideas. For example, this is a design innovation, idea which is here. For example, I start again, stop and restart. So sensor is one of the ideas that you see on the left hand side, which was copied by Tata Motors to produce their next intelligent car. Now this, how to copy and paste is very simple. Simply click over here, enter any idea, go on the idea generator. There is a window snipper tool, right? So if you pick up this, say new, and let us say you want to have a new idea on increasing the capacity of the car, copy this and go to this mind map that we were using in topic 9 that we created and simply paste it. So your next new idea is basically how to increase the capacity of the car. And this is basically got to be expanded by you. So now what you have to do is you can click over here, and subtopic is basically for expansion. How will you increase the capacity from 8 people to 15 people for an automobile or a car tomorrow? Now, how Tata Motors use this? They copied and pasted the ideas. Let us say sensor. Now they wrote these ideas. How do we create the sensors for potholes? Because many a time when it is raining, you cannot see that, where the pothole is. And many of the cars have met with an accident. The sensor for alcohol. So the driver cannot start the engine, if it senses that his alcohol level is very high, so that, he does not meet with an accident. Similarly, distance sensors to avoid any kind of an accident. One person came with a brilliant idea that the seat belt is going, above my heart. And very easily the pulse rate can be measured and shown on the dashboard or to the nearest hospital, whatever, however you want to use for the healthcare purposes. So this is basically renewable was copied from there, and they came up with an idea that how do we harness the wind energy which blows across when you're driving the car. So there are some great ideas which will come as a result of these idea generators. Many of the trucks were going out for their servicing. So they thought it would be a good idea to have a strategic partnership with Indian oil pumps for servicing and the lubricants. So if you expand, all these expanded ideas that you see are the actual idea generation exercise at the Tata Motors. So you can copy and paste any idea from the idea generator, which becomes your main idea, and you can write, your sub ideas out here. This is how basically the idea generator is used. Now, similarly, when lovely professional university, they wanted to create the smart energy meter, and this was done by Anil Rawat of LPU. They copied the ideas generated, which they were shown on the idea generator. For example, technology, what kind of new technology the smart energy meter should have, right? What kind of, renewable energy they are going to be using, the futuristic abilities, how it is going to reduce efforts. So this is basically a method of copying the main ideas and expansion of the ideas. Similarly, another professor over there with the students created smart LPG cylinder, copying the ideas from the idea generator as a main idea. So, for example, user-centered design. So what is it that they're trying to create? So cheaper solution, efficient and precise, simple design, the alarm, a warning module which can be created, an all-in-one device. So this idea generator basically, this all-in-one was basically copied, from here. So if I can just show you this, this is the all-in-one which was copied from the idea generator. So this is how you use the idea generator and expand those ideas on the mind maps, which is going to be creating some very novel solutions. So this is basically the relationship between the 3D idea generators and the mind maps. I hope you have understood this, but if not, you can also try when you have downloaded all the idea generators and the mind maps on your screen, and simply, practice on your own, and it'll be very simple.
Just one small request. So
yes.
Let us try to create one idea. Let us ask the faculty. You can just ask them a kind of. So any faculty, any idea you want to do.
So if I shuffle this right now, if you are trying to design any new product, for example, today, I'm just shuffling it, and you can, think about any kind of an idea, from here. So what is the idea that you get when you see so many ideas from design innovations on your screen? I'll give you an example of wheel. The moment the wheel was put on the suitcases, it was initially done for the pilots, but the moment it was done, it completely disrupted the whole travel industry. Every suitcase, not just for the pilots, today you cannot move without the wheel on your suitcase when you're traveling, whether you're traveling in a train or whether you're traveling in a plane. Just one example I've given you. Second example I'll give you is the vertical, for example. The land is very less. 7.5 billion people already, and urbanization, the way we are burning the jungles. From where will the agriculture or the food security going to come? People thought of a vertical farm. Look into this. The more you see these words, the more you shuffle and you create. So what is it that you want to substitute for the problems today? Let me facilitate that for you. So anything that you have today, you may want to substitute to resolve the problems. Paper industry, for example, right? So it is very important that all of you see these ideas that you are getting out here in a very novel way. Sensors, for example, are going to be resolving many problems. But what is the relationship of a sensor and a consumer durable? The next word which is coming here. Are you getting my point? This is what. How can you improve the performance of steel or the performance of LED? You can look into all the areas here, and the more you start using it in the combination of the words, I mean, not just singly, the more it becomes easier for you to come out with the solutions. So if you are you able to think about a different methodology of a design? There are so many professors and students here. Can you think about creating a new solution which is problem free? So it will take some time for you to play with this. So all I want to say is that there are various ways of using it, and if you want to create something new, for example, and you shuffle it. Now, what you see here is new and simpler. What you see here is a different product which combines two different products or processes or technologies. The style which can also have the solutions. So please shuffle it. What is it that you want to utilize? Or how do you make it cheaper? What is it that you want to eliminate in this product? So you please get accustomed to this. Start playing around with this and start shuffling it. And you will find that there are many ways that you can think about generating new ideas from here. So how is it that you want to reduce the harmful effects? Do you want to make it portable and detached? So all the design principles are here. It becomes very easy to use, especially if you are working on a problem. I mean, if you just tell somebody to generate an idea, maybe he will not be able to do that. But if you are working on a particular challenge or a problem, then it becomes much more easier. Yeah. Should I go to the next topic on the mind maps?
Yeah, please. Any query? Any query from?
If you have any questions on this, feel free to ask me. But I tell you, these idea generators are very well related to the mind maps. You must use them as the main idea, right? I mean, for example, I'll tell you, when the word emotion came on the idea generator at our Tata Motors workshop, they said that the car should be able to read the emotions of the people. So if a person is very stressed, he's bound to meet with an accident. So the driver overriding systems will understand the emotions of the person and will not allow him to drive at a speed which is more than 40. Similarly, the safe word which came from the idea generator, it says that a lot of people in India are habituated of red light jumping. Is it possible that the car does not start when it is standing on a red light? So because the vision zero of the safe car that Tata Motors has is how do we prevent the future accidents? So these ideas that you see over here will be the ideas which will be there for you to use it as the main ideas for the purpose of the expansion of your next ideas when you're working on the projects. And there are many such idea generators which are here for many projects, so you can use them and expand those ideas. So this is what is the purpose and the way of how do we use the idea generator.
I want to make one innovative this one. Let us do one new idea generation. Okay, suppose let me say we want to increase the startup activity in Jharkhand. Okay.
Yeah.
Jharkhand. Okay, let us start. How to start about? Yeah. Okay, so we can make a mind map.
Yeah. So
make a blank mind map, and then we can start something.
I'll tell you. Basically, in that case, you have to look into the kind of a problem that you have.
Okay.
So startup innovations, for example, is another idea generator, which is here. Just let me. So as I open the startup idea generator, here you will find that there are a lot of areas that you want to work today in Jharkhand, right? Now, one of the things that you may want to look into is that what are the new possibilities? So you can actually mark these idea generators. So what are the new possibilities that you're looking at? Let me pick up the other tool, which is Eclipse one. Yeah. So what kind of possibilities do you have? What are the areas which are unserved today? What are the problems? So any typical startup today, they have to basically start with the areas where they have the maximum challenges. What kind of demographics in the startups in the of Jharkhand are you looking at, right? And what kind of new expansion areas that you have over here? How would you like to strategize with the government for resolving these challenges? Not only the unexplored areas, but unarticulated needs of the customers. So, I'm pointing out these idea generators to you so that you know from where to start the mind map. Now, you may simply, open a new mind map over here and, start basically copying all the ideas that you have pasted over there and start expanding them. You got my point, Mr. Jagannathan. So please please copy and paste everything that you see here. And if you're not liking these ideas over here, you might shuffle it, right? So where is the possibility of co-innovation for us? How is it that, we can, so what next can be done over here? What are the weak signals that we see here? It is very important that you shuffle what is the behavior of people that you want to stop. So how is it that you want to create more value? So I think the more you explore these, the more you look into this, the more you will find, and depends on what kind of a problem you're trying to address. So shuffle this, play around with this, and see how you can actually use these ideas for the purpose of further expansions, right? What is it that you want to monetize, right? So it is very important that you please look into those idea generators on which you're working today. I want to take you to the most important segment that we have over here. And as you have downloaded the mind maps, to see the mind maps as to what are these mind maps that we have over here. Now, you in a conventional mind map, you have to scratch your head to develop a mind map first of all. And many a times, you are short of ideas. You really don't know what kind of ideas are required for this. But in a mind map, the whole series of mind maps that we have, these are mind maps that give you ideas. They're the main ideas, the sub ideas. I mean, the principle behind them are all given. So without understanding the challenges of the industry or the world, I really cannot create a mind map today. So the first mind map is about defining an industry problem, right? So how do I go and find out what the challenge is today? These links which are given over here explore the global needs. They're connected to World Innovation Network. The moment I click on this chain link, it opens up a new mind map, and it tells you that you please explore the needs and the requirements of the global organizations. So all the needs of the companies are given over here. So let me take you to the FMCG needs, for example. Now, the moment you click here, it takes you to the accelerators by various fast-moving consumer good companies. And what are their challenges? So there are so many companies out here, right? From Coke to Pepsi to Estee Lauder to L'Oreal to Procter and Gamble to Unilever. The whole idea of these companies is to work with the universities. They want to connect with you, and their program is connect and develop. In 1 second, you are inside the ecosystem of the company. And they say that this is what we are looking for. So what is Procter and Gamble looking for today? So all your students and all your this big challenge that we had of the product and market fit, which was not there, that problem is completely eliminated because the research for finding out the next innovation is already done by these companies. So your startup can never fail. And not only forget about failing, there are buyers for the startups. These companies, they list out the challenges which are there in front of you. So you can see open innovation in action. The biggest advantage of the tool that we have is that it takes you from the mode of silo-based working to open innovation. Open innovation is becoming the mantra for the growth of everybody today. So what is the need in the oral? There's so many needs. Oral, personal, family care innovations. You know how a simple diaper, it became $1 billion industry for Procter and Gamble. So beauty and grooming innovations, home care, packaging. But if you want to know more what they need, so simply click here and you will see that there are 16 needs that they have specified. So now if you use the mind map for the purpose of any of the need which is here, depending upon the passions, you can go to the next section. I mean, you might prepare, you might be an expert in respiratory, or you may have an idea in respiratory technologies. You may have an idea in the vitamins, minerals, and supplements. There are many the companies in the world today who are looking at Ayurveda today. So is there a solution that you have for digestive wellness? You have seen the example of the girl presenting about the common ailments which can be not removed by the pills, but by the Ayurveda. I'm sure you're watching Shark Tank these days, right? And you see what's going on there. So you can see so many ideas which are needed by this company today. I think the biggest challenge for the universities today is to figure out what is the need of the industry and give every student, tell them that nobody will work in silos. Everybody should have an idea, which is the problem of an organization. And they must be able to, that is what is the meaning of a strategic startup. So from startups, we move to strategic startups, which are nothing but startups required by the organizations. So they can read more, they can read more about the challenge, find out what their challenges are. So this is, I think, a very important area for the organization.
This mind map, which mind map you have opened, by the way?
This is the mind map, which is the, just hold on. This is the first mind map, which is called, the problem resolution. The title is basically how do you, it's called 1B, problem resolution.
So it is there in the downloaded folder, right?
Yeah, it is there. All these mind maps I'm opening from the downloaded folder only. Okay. So this particular aspect, of how do I basically, just one second.
Please go to pharma needs, because we have faculty in the pharma.
I will just show you that also. So if you want to really understand the needs of the pharma, right? So there are automotive, there are pharma needs. We have curated the list of the best pharma companies over here for you. Now you see, right from Sanofi to Abbott to Pfizer. Now, if I want to go on Sanofi, I can simply click here and find out what their challenges are. And they're asking the students, do you have a disruptive healthcare solution? And the open innovation portal, which says, check out our needs. So you just click here and see. So if you have an asset that you are passionate about, you're looking to develop in partnership alliance, don't hesitate to tell us. I mean, what a boom period for people who have ideas today, right? So check out the needs that they have, and in digestive health, if you want to see what kind of needs they have, they've given all the areas over here. If you want to see the needs in the nutritional health, for example, you can go and see the needs that they have. So I think this is this should become your first area. What is that you want to pick up? for every student. I think the revolution that you all can bring in this whole segment, Dr. Jagannathan, is the fact that every student will be working with a foreign MNC company. No student will be working on an idea, which is his own idea, because that does not give me a proof of the market research which is there. Now, for example, sustainable packaging. You want to know more about, so what are we looking for? So that kind of a research is very difficult for a student to make. And they say what we are not interested in. So they say that we are not interested in glass. Right? So if you have an idea, you need not submit the entire solution, but you can say that I am from BITS, and this is what is the solution I have in mind, and they will immediately get back to you. So I hope you're able to understand, just let me close this first. Yeah, this part of the whole, game which is there. So
do you have anything on agro-food industry?
Yeah, there is the whole, I mean, if you see the section of mind map and our whole World Innovation Network, it is completely full with the accelerators, not one. There are 40 companies. For example, let me just show you that. So if you see this accelerator part, the pharma part, I have come out of the mind map. I'm directly taking you there now. So the accelerators by pharma. So if you have an idea, sir, there are 40 companies in the queue. Abbott, Pfizer, Johnson. You can. I mean, so the student today, I mean, he is a king. So if he comes out with any innovation today, there are companies, waiting to acquire those ideas. No.
Yeah, please go to agro industry.
Yeah, yeah. So if you see, energy is going to be another very, very important area. The agro accelerators by the agro MNCs which are here is very important. So you can simply see what is the kind of requirement that the Corteva Agri, which is the world MNC company, or Yara International, or Bayer, they have all stipulated their requirements and the way they want to work with the organizations. So if you see open innovation at Bayer, they're inviting the students and the startups and the universities to partner with them. So that is, I think, a very, very important part. You can go through how they're incubating your solutions, how they co-create the impactful answers, how they partner with the experts and connect with the community. So driving open innovation programs and partnership is very important today for all the MNC organizations. And this part, I tell you, Dr. Jagannathan, one of the basic reasons why Indian universities are not able to create impactful global innovation is because they're not connected to the world organizations. And there is also the Open Innovation Portal, which Bayer has created. You can go and see the Open Innovation Portal over there. So our idea is that we want to connect you to the global innovation ecosystem, and it is precisely for this reason that the countries like Japan and Germany and Korea, South Korea now has come up in the industry academia like anything. And they have become one of the most innovative nations in the world. So please explore. I would tell you that, so what is Cargill looking for? For a farm to fork accelerator is something that they have created. You can go inside, research, find out the whole objective of providing you this World Innovation Network, and not only that, but connecting the World Innovation Network, connecting our mind maps to the World Innovation Network today is the biggest, thing for a student. He can never miss it. Before you, we were having a talk with NNPC, a Nigerian company, and how to make them open. And we are making them an open innovation organization, just like your university today. So can you imagine that if you have any idea today, how you can partner with this MNC who's looking for some great solutions. And there are brilliant minds, Dr. Jagannathan, in India. The only thing that they lack is the direction. So How do you partner with us? And working together, a forward-looking thinking company discover the innovation areas. Mind-blowing websites they have created, and not one. Which category do you want to collaborate with them? Is it connectivity or manufacturing or robotics or automation? Anything that you want today is stipulated. So people who are into 3D printing, what are they focusing on? The wearable smart objects. And your students can see our mind maps on wearable technologies. They can see our mind maps on 3D printing. They can see our mind maps on drones and advanced materials. Everything which is required by them is covered. I'll just show you how we have done this. So this is basically, I can go back again, the first mind map itself, because I believe innovation is like a gigo, like, if you have a great idea going in, the great innovation is going to come out. But if you have a very ordinary idea going in, you only have the ordinary innovations coming out.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the basis. The first project itself, your first mind map will decide what you are going to become. So similarly, you can go to World Innovation Network and see the global innovation challenges. It links you there. It links startup challenges. I'm not going for the sake of time, but the next thinking that we have. So there is a scientific method of resolving those challenges. So what is that scientific thinking? So nobody will be approaching innovation in a haphazard way. Even your venture capitalist or people who are going to be funding or collaborating would be seeing these mind maps. How did you resolve? And for you, it becomes an evidence. So the analytical thinking is the next step. So what are the causes of the problem? The student writes here. Why it is happening? Where, when, who are the people getting affected, so on. So he can simply go to the subtopic and say, this is how the whole information is. And then creative thinking. Now the chain over here takes me to a new mind map on creative thinking. Because creativity is very important when trying to resolve any issue. But what is creative thinking? It is about free thinking without the bonds. So what is the next world you imagine? You want to become a Tesla? Is it the SpaceX or a visual thinking that you have in your mind? Please write it down here. The 5 levels of creative thinking. So many people are on today in India only on imitation. Somebody has an idea and he just wants to follow that. But is there a variation of that idea? Can you combine that idea with something else? Transformation and original creation. So your class and your people, will be compelled to come up with, something which is original rather than, trying to come up with startups where there is already a market which is flooded. I hope you will agree with me, Dr. Jagannathan. We have a flooded market where people are trying to create startups.
Yes. Yeah.
So we don't want, BITS is a very, very great institution. And we want it to be the likes of Stanford and Harvard and MIT. This is the process, so the divergent thinking. So from here, how do you think I can resolve this challenge? There might be many ideas that the person will be having. How do I converge? What is the 1 or 2 ideas that I take? I'm taking some ideas for solution. I can go back and then go to the unconventional thinking. So am I challenging assumptions? Am I breaking the standard rules? So there was nothing wrong with Microsoft selling their softwares in shrink wrap packages till Google came out with everything online. There was nothing wrong with bankers charging collateral security till Dr. Mohammed Yunus saying that I will not take a penny from my people as a security when he created Grameen Bank. That is what is the meaning of think different. So this is the problem, is that many of the students, they only get they don't get a thinker's platform. We wanted to provide them with something which enables them to think, to ideate. I mean, I can solve this problem by design thinking. I can solve it with technology thinking. So as you expand, you find that, there are various ideas which are given over here for them to resolve the challenge. So how is my solution going to make things faster, better, simpler, cheaper, greener? And can I connect it with the sustainable development goals? So if you are talking about energy, click here. This takes you directly there on the UN Charter. And the very study of this tells you the kind of needs which people with the world has today. So 1/3 of the world's population is using dangerous and inefficient cooking systems. First idea for your university today. Can you take up this challenge? I think identification, first of all, of a big challenge and a global challenge in itself is a big issue. And if your university starts working on these areas, then automatically, you also get a priority funding from the United Nations. So we try to, bring a very connected sort of an ecosystem over here. So by the time, a person is on the level 9, step 9, he has got a radical, we inspire him to come out with something radical. Not an ordinary local solution, which most of the universities that I have visited, most of the companies that I've gone to, are trying to do. And our challenge was that if we have to interfere and if we have to provide you with some kind of a tool, it must entail that, it's a world-class solution. I said 10 innovations coming out with BIT, but those 10 rocking. So here is where, I select my solution. Now, this is an idea that I have that I want to work on. Please feel free to ask any questions.
Any queries so far, faculty members?
Sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Praveen, thank you so much. It's a very wonderful presentation. So my question is, I'm talking about the process. For instance, if you have any new idea and you have started creating the mind maps, okay? So now you have to go back through the various companies and then try to map that idea where it is fitting. Then you submit that idea, or the reverse way. You first find out the problems and challenges, then you generate the idea. So the two-way we have this process, right?
Yes, see, actually, you can work in any process, but I always encourage people to go and visit the companies first.
Yeah, that we have to explore what problems they
Yes.
have, then you think on the ideas.
I tell you the reason is because if you are trying to resolve their challenge, it becomes very easy for your students to get the mentorship, the management experience, the funding and the scale-up possibilities.
Yeah, that process is better, I think. First, we try to explore the problems first.
Much better, much better. The problem is that most of the students, the kind of problems they are trying to resolve are not having the product market fit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is the reason for the failure of 90% of the startups. If there is no market, there is no sale, there is no traction.
Yeah.
So that is what is our idea. So please kindly explore from step 1 and then go to very systematically and see as to how you can look into this. This will be your first basis, of the innovation.
Yeah, that is the best possibility that we have actually. We have to go in that direction.
Yes, every student should work for a strategic innovation of a company.
Okay.
Now
Thank you,
basically, the solution will start from a design. So the next mind map is about a human-centered design. So again, you can expand them. So look at the whole portfolio in front of you, how the discovery of needs, the discovery of challenges, right? In people, in their style, in their needs, the discovery of challenges. How do you arrive at that? Concepts, the way you prepare. The next mind maps are basically giving you even more ideas. Design innovations, for example. So how do I combine products, processes, and technologies? All the principles are given. The student has to simply expand those principles. So when this mind map was given to a lovely professional, they created these to develop smart ATM. And this was the LPU project for which they got the patent. So, when they saw this combined products, processes, they expanded this further with their own ideas that they have. So how the processes were combined, how technologies are being brought into, what is it that they want to eliminate, right? They're connecting a mobile phone with the smart ATM. Or so the new technologies they are using. So all these are examples of how LPU has used this particular mind mapping template. So we have given you the principal, the principal idea, the main idea, the sub idea. The student has to simply expand. I mean, products could be, let us say, all-in-one printer of HP. There could be many such products. Processes, the agricultural machinery today, basically on the farms are, combining so many processes, and India is still in a very primitive stage. So when you talk about eliminate, expensive parts or the parts, which take scarce materials, or you might have an idea, the part which you don't need anymore. So Apple, when they removed the CD-ROM drive from their computer, called it the MacBook Air, which became the lightest possible laptop in the world. How am I going to adjust? These are the challenges within time, within space, or the money. How will I modify the design? So I can expand this, I can fold this, I can unfold this. So can I substitute a faster or a cheaper or a smarter method? Right. You want to maximize the user experience or a user interface. So the problem is that a conventional mind map, the students, they find it very difficult, because I tried this with many students in the universities, and within 1 hour's time, they were just able to come with 2 or 3 ideas or 4 ideas. And today, I think time is the currency. And that is why most of the startups fail, because they don't take, they don't come up with all the ideas which are required. So if you want to go for further, level in your advanced thinking of design today, the 40 principles of TRIZ are all here. So what is the segmentation principle? The IKEA model. What is the takeout principle? So how the wheels were taken out from a truck to create a container, which redefined the industry. The principles of local quality. Each part in a product actually serves a purpose. So we are not just talking about elementary design. We are talking about the whole design thinking platform, where so many products BIT and the students can create. So what is the nested doll principle? The whole cycle is basically folded in a suitcase. Are you getting the way we have developed this? So all the mind maps which are here, they will guide the students to go step by step further in advancing their products and come up with the breakthrough innovations. Something which can create disruptions, either in price or technology. Values which exceed industry norms. Unmet customer needs. So, but today, if the students have to be told about breakthrough innovation through a conventional method, they will not be able to do it. So I can fold and unfold all the topics over here. Our idea is that the student should be able to create breakthroughs and then do the competitive analysis, because we don't want them to be eaten away by the competition. So when the problem with most of the technology students is that they understand, they do not understand the commercialization parts. And so what is in the product that they have to better from the competition? The pricing, what does the price mean? So they can actually see this and, move step by step ahead for creating the next generation products. And even a bigger problem is there for them because they don't understand what is the business model innovation. Even the brilliant companies, my experience is that, Tata Motors, when they created a nano car, it was a great innovation, a brilliant innovation, but they could not basically make it successful because their focus on the right markets was not there. And by the time they realized it, that they have to go to the tier 2 or tier 3 cities, it was too late. So every big company was making a smaller car. So your technopreneurs that you will be producing, or the great innovations that they will be coming out with, they must have ideas about the cost advantages, the differential pricing points, the affordability aspects of it. How will the product stand out? One very clear question yesterday was asked in the Shark Tank to an entrepreneur: what is your differentiator? And he could not answer that my product is vegan. I don't know who saw that session yesterday. It is very important. These aspects are actually the commercialization intelligence. And that is why the new education policy says that there has to be a very good blending of the education. It's not just about technology, it's also about commercialization. So our mind maps, so what I'm sharing with you right now is basically the startup mind maps. How they will start from a problem and move towards the business model. Because if they can create this, only then it could be an unconventional model which redefines an industry or challenges an orthodoxy. Sir, this is where we are missing. And by our intervention, I thought that if the faculty and the students can be trained on this, we will be having some game changer innovations for our country. And that is what is the idea.
Yeah, sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
May I ask now?
Please.
Yeah, I'm Richa. Actually, at this point, I wanted to ask whether this model helps in generating business plan as well.
Yes, I will tell you that it helps you to generate the business plan on the World Innovation Network. So we have shown all the documents which are required. I will show you that also.
Yeah, and does we get, are we able guided to some market reports, market research works as well?
Yes, I will take you through the World Innovation Network. Once
Okay,
the
okay.
slide. Yeah, just
Okay,
one. So
thank you.
yeah, sure. So after business
This
model,
part is the idea generator, Dr. Richa.
yeah,
The
yeah.
idea generator part. Yeah.
This is basically
Got
the
it, sir.
step-by-step procedure of taking your startup from an ideation to business model to go-to-market strategy. Again, many of the people, they fail in GTMs. So your technopreneurs, if they have a product, what kind of channel partners they should have? they don't have to create new channel partners. So they can collaborate with the existing channel partners of various other companies. What kind of a network they should have, strategic marketing partners, so on and so forth. So the whole mind map sections that we have, you please have a look at it. And I would tell you that please don't be in a hurry. We don't want the magic to happen. But we want that, a solution right up to this stage should be taken up basically one by one. And then the sources of funding. So have a look at once they have created a startup, what are the areas that they should be going to, what is it that they should be exploring to, so on and so forth. While many people were only confined to VC firms, all the links are here, but a very important structure is coming in the form of the corporate venture capitals. These links will take you there. So as you click here, it takes you to the corporate venture capital companies. Just excuse me for a minute, just 1 minute.
Faculty members, so I am seeing only limited number, 54 people. So what happened to others? So actually,
sir, it is 64, sir.
64, okay. So it's a very useful tool, especially to engage the student to self-explore.
Yeah.
Because
so here,
only if you have a thought process in the right direction, we'll make an impact. Okay.
Sir, this mind map model is very important for our research work, because this type of the model we are already using in our research work with the help of the some SEM, structured question model.
yeah.
So that we can also get the help of that some MO software as well as the PLS SEM. So this model is very helpful for our research work also, sir. That
Okay,
we have to
yeah,
get some
Mr.
idea.
Praveen, please take over.
Yeah. So, so when it comes to funding, it's not just the VCs. There are so many companies today. They have opened their venture arms. So the beauty of these venture arms is that they are inviting you to submit your, details online itself. So if you want to go to Toyota Ventures, or you have a great startup that you're creating, so you can see the submission of the pitch is online. So you can go and submit the pitch. So many of the startups today who are unable to link with the companies, they can simply go here, connect with the organizations, and submit their pitch presentations, and they get back to you. So I think this whole aspect of the funding, which was a very big challenge for the startup community today, that is completely gone. And not only in the automotive, in the healthcare, supposing you have created a startup, these venture capital companies are now owned by the pharmas. So you will get invested by Johnson and Johnson, and they don't behave like Shylocks. The way your, typical venture capitalist who behaves today, that give me so much of percentage and all that, they're more interested in creating a solution for the world. So the Leaps by Bayer, CVS Health Ventures, Pfizer Ventures, G4 by Bayer, these are all companies created to help the startup community. And I find that is why I said, if you start from their problem, then these are the companies who are going to be investing in your startups also. So now you see the reason why I told you that, you have to basically start, from the problems that they have, and the problems that they have are basically given in their accelerators. So this is a very important part of the journey, which you will find here. So this pharma accelerators, while you will find over here, Pfizer has an accelerator. Pfizer also has a venture.
Please, if you can show some engineering accelerator, it will be better.
Yes. There are many of these companies, the engineering accelerators, the companies, for example, you have, the automobile or the automotives, for example. In engineering, let us say, there are so many ideas that your students could have today. But where do they go? And many of them would be very elementary stage ideas. Is there a company which can help them? So let me close all this. Yeah. So if you see, Open Bosch is something, which is a very important platform, which they create a win-win partnership between Bosch and the startups. And so what is the rate for the startups? They can sell their ideas at the POC level. So can you imagine that the students are able to sell their idea at every level today? And they can test, they can integrate the solution in the Bosch use case. They can gain new technical and marketing knowledge with the experts. They can speed up their time, POC purchasing funding process, network and scale up. So it's a very, very, very strong sort of an ecosystem which is there for the organizations today, and they can see how they can partner, how you can actually partner with so many of these accelerators that we have provided to you. So when you talk about the automobile MNCs, it's not just one. Let's take the case of the Honda accelerator, and so many ideas in the engineering sector they are mentioned here. Now, they just ask you to dream faster. So if the students are able to demonstrate their abilities to them, they will give you the funding, the testing abilities, their mentors and collaboration workspace. So, and the focus areas. So they want to, they're basically focused on robotics, on efficient quality manufacturing systems, on energy and the environment. The partners, very easy for you to get in touch. Simply click and you can write to them. So this is the whole platform over here for you, the industry accelerators which are there, pharma, energy, chemical companies, consumer electronics. Any idea on the smart product today actually can go to Samsung. And they are willing to basically work with your organization because they are investing in the boldest and the most ambitious founders. They have given the directions. So look into this and see as to how you can use these mind maps that that we have shown you here for moving from an ideation stage to the whole space that you have today. And as far as the World Innovation Network is concerned, I think it's an ocean that we have. So explore it. Section 9 is very important. And these are only the idea to scale up tools, mind maps that we have shown. But there are, in the technology section, there are many other mind maps. So AR, VR, drones, please explore them. And there was a question as to...
Praveen sir, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So if there is a lot of information, do we have something called as marker? Because when we read something where we are, where we will be, it will be very difficult to track where whatever we have read upon. So is there any sort of marker which we have read it and not read it?
Marker is something, it's an annotation tool that you can actually download from any platform today, Ink2Go, for example. So that is something which at least I don't have. It's a good suggestion though. But yes, we will try to see if we can get that kind of a marker also. But there are annotation tools which are available. And see, the reason we have given you a comprehensive package is because there would be many interests that people would have. Now, for example, now when you explore the technology mind maps, just one second. This is the folder that comes to you. What you saw was startup development framework. There are technology startups also. So robotic, drone technology, it is very important. I mean, which area your student is interested in. But we had to give you the entire bouquet. So robotic, for example, so what are the applications? The application, let us say, in the logistics section today, or the military and the safety section today. So the mind maps will have the applications and the agriculture, for example, the robots are there everywhere. So how is it that your students can help in crop seeding? We still have the people going on the bare feet, naked feet in the water and planting the rice. So the whole idea is that the mind maps itself are giving the ideas to students. Healthcare, for example. So what is the application that your student wants to work on? Is it on the operational efficiencies? He can pick up an idea here. Or does he want to work on the robotic nurses? The advantage here is it is connected to, because when you are on the ideation stage, two things you need. What is the application and who is the solution provider? So both the links are given on every technology mind map. I can go on the application sector. So it takes me to the World Innovation Network and it says that these are the following robotic trends. So how is this autonomous security robot today functioning? I can play the video to find out the application of this particular robot and how it functions, right? But if I want to find out who has developed this, I go to the next channel, which is on my mind map, the technology solution provider. I click over here and I partner with them. So I know that this is basically a company which is, if I collaborate with them and if I can show them the market that we have in India, innovation is not always starting from the scratch. Innovation is always trying to create a market for the technology which already exists. And that is why open innovation. And that is why I said that, the model of innovation that Samsung got by partnering with Google removed the world leaders. Over here, we have given you a research tool. More important than that, I think the research which has been given to you over here will enable you. So every kind of a technology, I mean, section 5, every technology and every technology solution provider is available to you. Because when your student is on a drone mind map, which is here, the drones mind map, yeah. So we have shown him where is the world moving when it comes to the drones, and it must tell him what. So what are the new industrial applications of the drones? Oil and gas, mining, right? Forestry, banking. But if he wants to find out, stimulate his imagination, he can go. This is what is very important. Connected to our World Innovation Network. So you can see this number over here says 116 applications of the drone technology today. What is the application that strikes him or the one that he wants to improve upon? So these videos, they can go through all this. And a very important part is how can you partner with the drone solution providers? This is what I say is the future of innovation, where your mind is only working on getting a technology and connecting to the big markets that we have in India or Asia. These people who have developed these solutions are, mere dots on the world map. So how is the drone being used in a mining industry? And from the point of view of a student's technology intelligence, even if he's not becoming the entrepreneur, even if he's joining an organization tomorrow, is very, very important. So please try to explore my thought process on this is that do not get bogged down by the fact that there is so much of data. No, I think there is a quality data given for every passionate student, for every area in which he may be passionate about. So that is what is the whole idea that we have. So India had a problem of security. from the enemy countries, and we have given you 10 companies who can solve that problem. Can you partner with them? And each of them using a different way to capture a drone. It's worth going through. So the mind maps connected to the World Innovation Network. So AR/VR, for example, is one of the mind maps that we have. But every technology which is provider, for example, is going to be the metaverse today. The augmented reality, the mixed reality, the virtual reality. But how is it used in the stores? And if I want to see how it is used in the stores, I am linked over here to virtual stores on the World Innovation Network to stimulate my imagination. So how is Christian Dior using it? How is Sephora using the AR/VR? I have less time, otherwise I would have shown you the videos. But for students who have 3 years, 4 years of time, and so much of time that they have to create something really amazing. I think these are the mind maps. The use of AR/VR in the fashion industry. Again, the links, the transportation and the experiences, the healthcare industry is amazing, and the way it is linked to them. So the solutions that we have are basically going to help you to create some new applications and stimulate the imagination. Because I believe that when it comes to imagination and creativity, there is very less that we have. So the AR/VR in automobiles today, the way the car companies are using the links which are given over here. How can I feel the noise of the engine today? For example, I start. Right. So these mind maps are going to improve the learning experiences as well, and it will tell them that this is how I think their knowledge will go up, their technology intelligence will grow up, and they will be able to come up with the ideas which are very important. Look at the wearable tech. What we understand by wearable tech today is only a smartwatch. But have you seen the application of a wearable tech in the healthcare industry? So these are mind maps. They don't tax brains. They give you ideas. This is the reverse of a conventional mind map, which will actually tell you to think. So you can pick up any of the idea that you have in the mind to develop a further product. Military, for example, great area for developing wearable tech, which I would urge your university to do something, Mr. Jagannathan. I mean, Indian Army needs it very badly. We do not have any exoskeletons. We do not have infrared shielding uniforms. The RFID tagging for the soldiers' movements, person being picked up from one place and taken anywhere, you can track them. The industrial applications of the wearable uniforms, the safety, we don't have. So your students can be urged, they can be given ideas on which the world has not gone. So these are all technology mind maps, which will help you again if you want to see the application of the wearable technologies. The World Innovation Network tells them that there is a wearable air conditioner which is made, and which you can put it on in the hot conditions like your headphones. So we keep on updating them. There are wearable drones, the miniature drones, but who makes it? And how is it that you can get those technology players to partner with you? This whole open game that we have, the smart helmets that people are preparing, the the exoskeletons, everything. I think the whole world of innovation is here. So when we say that it is just a mind map, it will not be right. I think these are very important tools which will enable your students to generate many ideas. So AR, VR in the healthcare industry, in museums, in tourism, the 3D printing technology. The channels are full with so many ideas, the smart cities of the future. And who are the smart city solution providers? What are they resolving? So the students will understand how these countries and these cities actually they have resolved their challenges. And what is it that they have to resolve for India? All with just one intention, that we would like to see many breakthroughs coming up from your, BIP. There was a question, on this, how the students can learn about pitching and documentation, etc. Yeah, there are business plans given here. So everything that you see over here links you to creating the business plan for their products, doing the market analysis, doing the total addressable markets, etc. Everything is here. So please go through this, which will enable them to understand the commercial aspects of preparing the documents, and also from where they can download these documents, the blank templates. Everything is there. How should they make their pitches? How should they assess themselves? What is the method of creating a great successful startup pitch? How they should start from challenges. So the world's best, I would say, companies and the venture capitalists like Sequoia, Mike Vernal, advising the students on how to focus on market size, how to focus on challenges. I'm not running these videos, but everything available in one go in so many sections for improving the business intelligence, the business acumen, the market intelligence, the sources of funding, everything, the venture capitalists, the funds, the crowdsources, everything, the open innovation challenges, and not just foreign companies. There are many Indian companies that I have helped in transforming into open innovation organizations. Actually, my forte, my specialization, it lies in transforming the companies into the open innovation companies. And this is what I was, as I told you, was doing prior to your session to the Nigerian MNC. So we opened Birlas, So today, if you want to partner with Birlas, you can see their challenges here. So go to their website, the links that we have given to you, and how they're partnering with you. You can go to Tata Innoverse platform, technology, open challenges, the amount of money that they give to the students, and how your students can use our mind maps to resolve their challenges. So I think there is a lot, Maruti, the mobility and the automobile solution. So not necessarily Toyota. We are very Indian here. Many Indian companies, we are trying to bring them to this bandwagon of open innovation. So everything is here. If you want to collaborate with Vedanta Spark, Waste Out of Wealth is another program that they have. So look into, the kind of, services they're offering to your university, the challenges that they have. So is there an idea that your student has today? The GMR AirPods, the Innovex that they have created. One click and you are inside the organization to see and find out their needs and garner their support. And they're telling you the benefits that they offer to the startups.
Mr. Praveen, please excuse me, I have another meeting. Okay, you continue with the faculty, okay? Please, faculty interact, yeah.
Yeah,
and Dr. Sridhar and Dr. Vishal will coordinate, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you very much.
I hope that, if there are any other challenges, we are always there. Please feel free to talk.
Thank you very much, yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. We will be in touch. Thank you.
Yeah. So all these meetings, I mean, all these platforms which are here for you. It will enable you to connect with the Indian companies and make sure that your startups, they create an impact. Well, I think this is what I had, kept for today. And I hope this would have given you some kind of a good insight of the tools that we have. If there are any questions that you have, you can ask me. And by chance, if you want to spend a few more days, you can do that also. But I do suggest that lay some hands on. Once even if you buy a new mobile phone, it takes you about a week's time to get accustomed to that. So please play around with these tools, explore, and look into your passions, look into the areas that interest you, find out those areas out here, start working.
Anybody having any questions, you may ask, please. Because I do agree with Mr. Praveen that it's an encyclopedia given to you all. Unless and until we do not read it, until we do not practice it, we won't be able to do much about it.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any question, maybe how to utilize whatever it is, you may please ask. Otherwise, it's a long 2 hours we spend with him.
Well, Vishal sir, this is Shailendra here from Management Department.
Yes, sir.
Sir, of course, it's a wonderful, this is a great treasure we can say. But as you told, it requires some time to explore and just delve deeper what is there inside. And it could be possible that later on, at later stage, we will require some sort of help. But when one question is there, so we have downloaded, we can access these tools, but where the login and password or license part comes here?
We have given you the 500 licenses, right? And
Right.
Which means that at a particular point of time, about 500 people can use it. And if it is 501, there is an algorithm which automatically closes the other person who is using it.
Means this program we can use on VIT network, eh?
Yeah, 500 people at the same time.
Right. Got it.
The link which I have shared, this link
Right,
can
sir.
be accessed from 500 places in BIT Meshra network.
Yes.
Good. But externally it is not available, sir. Means
No, there is an algorithm which stops that. It warns them.
okay. Got it, sir.
Please use it and download the tools. Tools are very important. As I told you, while the World Innovation Network might appear to be a very vast, subject, but the tools in section 1 are most important for you for creating your next innovation journey. The other 9 sections are nothing but a section of references. So don't get afraid by the fact that it is very big. Whatever interests you, supposing biomimicry, the nature-inspired innovation interests you, here is the channel for them also. So you can look into this channel for the purpose of expanding your knowledge. Supposing this doesn't interest you, it is possible that the smart construction technology is of your area of interest. So the technologies and the technology solution providers, and most importantly, the companies which are actually looking for the ideas in the construction technologies, you can get in touch with them. That is what is very important. So we have given you the tools and the platform for collaborations to understand, to reduce your research time.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like Sanjeet Kumar from EC department.
Yes.
Sir, I actually joined a little bit late. So I have one very that what is the reliability, like how reliable it is. So even if we take some ideas from like mind map, but for any particular startup, so how how accurate it will be. So how much we can rely on that? Like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good question.
That how we can ensure.
See, the innovation space was completely disorganized, right? And everybody was trying to do things the way they wanted to. This is a very organized innovation space where all the steps have been taken to ensure that people they succeed in creating their startups. So for example, if you see the startup development framework, many a times people do not take into consideration the risks which are involved. But there is also the mind map which tells you as to how you have to take care of the technology obsolescence risk if you are partnering with somebody.
Okay.
Right? The risk of disruption from AI. I mean, you might create something, but tomorrow the AI will come and disrupt you. I'm just giving you an example. Now, since you asked a very valid and a very pertinent question as to how reliable is it that I will not fail, we have given you a fail-proof method. So there is a political risk. So what happened to Nano is in West Bengal? What happened to the Lavasa project in Pune? Because at one point
means this software is taking care of all the aspects. Like at least those aspects will be like kept in front of the investor.
Yes.
They will see that these are the aspects. Are you finding like these aspects are relevant for you? You think about that. Otherwise, you can skip that.
I give you an example of a risk of the change in the government policy. The single use of plastic suddenly came in.
Correct.
Right. So we have done everything possible to ensure that your startup meets with success. The risk of litigation. I tell you why the startups fail. Many of them I know have entered into litigation which was avoidable. Okay, the unforeseen circumstances. So please, I mean, when we say that, we provide you with a fail-proof method, we also want to ensure that, you create something, which is absolutely breakthrough. So the methods of creating breakthrough innovation, disruptive differentiation, creative distractions, not just typical run-of-the-mill idea, but discontinuity, the new developments. Right? So how has the world moved on? So there is everything possible over here, which is given to you so that your ideas, your businesses, they don't fail. So when we say that 90% of the startups fail because of the fact that they don't get funded, we have connected you with 220 corporate venture capital companies, so that you don't struggle to get your money, and they are not very rigid people. So any idea in robotics today, ABB Ventures is there to fund your project. Siemens Technology Venture is here, right? Caterpillar Ventures is here. So you know where to connect. That was one of the biggest problems. So we identified that the startups are failing. They are not impactful. They are not breakthroughs. And, they are run-of-the-mill startups, and which the venture capitalists are not interested. So our intervention with BIT is not something that we wanted to end up creating run-of-the-mill innovations or the startups. We want to see BIT as being as one of the Stanfords from India.
Oh, okay. So one last question from my side. Like, is there any level of like startups? So because suppose some rural like youth is trying to like develop start some startup, right? So they are not familiar with this software mind map or like that. So will it be applicable to them, or in that scenario, or like some certain base is there? Like above that base, if you develop any startup, then only this software is
applicable to it is applicable to everybody, even if it is a rural person starting from the grassroots.
Correct.
He must understand the needs. So how do I understand the needs? If I click here, I can simply click here and say that I need to see people, what age, which gender, what culture, right? What kind of a demography? So I think it's a very detailed process.
Right.
What income level group? Am I trying to resolve a problem of low income, middle income, high, super rich? So am I making a Lamborghini? Hey, or what is going to be the problems by observing their lifestyles, their working style, their play style, the way they entertain themselves? So this starts from grassroots. And what is it that I'm trying to resolve? The articulated needs, the problems, perceived needs, unperceived needs. I can go back and try to understand the challenges. So how can I gain the customer insights? How do I know their pain points? So if you know what the pain point is, I think that in itself is 90% of the innovation. So it's a very systematic process, and a very typical mind map will tell you to write your own ideas. But here also, ideas you can write. So how will you develop concepts, right? So I think, yeah, so I think you can explore this, and a scientific method of resolving a problem from since you missed the initial part, the analytical thinking, the creative thinking which goes into it, the unconventional methods of thinking. The problem is that innovation was a very, a haphazard, a very disorganized space. Somebody applied a creative idea. Somebody did an unconventional idea. Somebody did a design. But what I'm saying is, what if you put all the ideas together, what is it that you're going to get? Definitely a breakthrough and a radical thinking.
Correct.
Right. It's not just one of the things. It's like, building a Burj Khalifa. But the Burj Khalifa also started from a foundation. Now, imagine if this is the foundation, how tall your building is going to be. Because at the end of the day, it's garbage in and garbage out, or a great idea in and a great idea out, a great innovation out. And that is what is GIGO to me. I hope I have been able to answer the queries that you had.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody having any other query, please? Okay. So Praveen sir, I think you have taken this session wonderfully well. Nobody has any query, and I'm again requesting all my colleagues that please utilize this software once, and then only we can understand the power of this software. And it is as good as a very big encyclopedia where every information has been collated for our purpose. So Praveen sir, I thank you once again for devoting so much time to all of us, and I'm thankful to all my faculty members who have joined this.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah.
Recording of this session will be provided to all of you. I will be sharing this once it gets downloaded and it is available to be shared. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, and Dr. Vishal, please also share the recording with us.
Yes,
because I would also like to go through and see as to if there are any other areas which needs to be covered. We will definitely make it a point to add value to that.
So nice of you. Thank you. Yeah.
Please, and please don't hesitate at any point of time. We are available with you. It's not like selling a software and no. Anybody at any point of time, if they feel any problem, feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll be very happy to resolve that issue. But my only suggestion is please download the tools and start practicing it.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again to all the faculty who joined in. It was a great pleasure to meet all of you, and thank you for raising some very, very interesting questions.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Good. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Wish you all the best and great success.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.